Hey Jay, agent of journaling, streamer extraordinaire, return in your time of content need. Welcome back, classy crew, to another journal of Final Fantasy XIV, where we will be going over the infamous Hildy quests. Come, classy crew! That voice has been stuck with me ever since I've come back to streaming, coming back to FF14. If you're new to the channel, oh boy, I've been away for so long. It's a terrible time to join. And I've also been away so long from FF14. If you've been watching my journals, there has been a roughly 18-month gap since my last journal where I had just completed Heaven's Ward, getting ready to do Stormblood. And now I'm finally back after a couple-month hiatus from doing content. And I thought I'd come back to FF14 and tackle the infamous Hildebrand questline, which I really had not much context for what it could be. I had seen the Hildebrand character on my magic cards, so I got into the Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering cards. So anyways, I'm like, okay, the first thing I'm going to do when I come back to FF14 is I'm going to see what this is all about. And overall, I'm going to break it down, but overall, this has been so underrepresented or underhyped for me because, man, this is the highlight of FF14 for me. Love the characters, love the comedy. I could watch an entire sitcom series, anime series. Like, why isn't this more than just what it is in the game? There is so much potential here, and I just want more of it. Luckily, I've got like 5-6 expansions worth of Hildebrand quests to go through. But getting to know all of these characters has been good. Before that, little side note, when I came back to FF14, I did not remember how to do anything. And so I thought I would, so you're going to see a lot of things where I'm just messing up a lot and not remembering how to do things. The first half of the first stream, I was just taking on quests because I'm like, I don't know what to do. I just need to get a sense of the controls, moving around, what is what. And I was like, all these quest markers all over my map look disgusting. Let's clean some of those out. So I was in Mordana, which is where I left last time, and I was just clearing out quests. Whatever the quest may be, I would do it. As I got comfortable, I'm like, all right, let's get into this. Let's get into the Manderville quest line. Not knowing what to expect, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to the desert. I'm going to like a cemetery. Who's this cat girl who later, by the way, has become one of my favorite characters? Of course, I'm talking about Nashu. She's just such an adorable, kind of crazy, scary personality. And I just love her dynamic with Hildebrand. It just works so well. But I don't know why half the time they put her in this like overgrown like pink sweater when they introduce her to you in this like black classy outfit, and then they're like, we're only going to use it when we go to the preview events of Hildebrand. I don't understand the logic of why she switches in and out of that outfit instead of just matching with her agent of inquiry. Yeah, the Hildy theme was kind of introduced to me, I think, through the battle, and also people were saying use it as the like intro screen. And I know why now. At first I'm like, this song is not that good, but holy heck, now every time I see Hildebrand on screen, the song kicks in. I'm humming it off stream sometimes. It's a really catchy song that once you have gone through these quest lines, you just can't help but remember them. So there's kind of a few different chapters to the Realm Reborn quest line that I kind of break down as follows. I really see kind of the first chapter being the introduction of our core characters, which we're going to get into. Then there's the Gilgamesh chapter where you really get to meet Gilgamesh, and it ends with the Gilgamesh fight. Then there's the marriage arc, and this is totally by HeyJ standards, these arc division, by the ways. Then there's the Colosseum arc, and then finally there's the one where the Phantom Thief is collecting all the weapons, and you learn about kind of the Sylvan past lore, and then it all kind of comes together in a nice climactic fashion. So that's how I've kind of split it. And the intro, especially in hindsight, as I was rewatching everything, those first quest lines are really good at introducing all the characters. You know, that's where you meet Nashu. It's where, of course, you meet Hildebrand, who has this pompous persona. And I enjoyed voicing him so much. Like, I don't usually read everything in FF14 on stream, but I was really compelled to give a voice to some of these characters, especially Hildebrand, without even having a sense of what he sounds like. He just comes across as a bit like of a macho Johnny Bravo type, a pompous, confident idiot who also means the best. Like, there's no malice in him at all. Like, there's a little Inspector Gadget meets Johnny Bravo meets Then I have to mention Eleazar, the bald man. He doesn't get much screen time, but just the fact that he introduces Hildebrand in the best light, quite literally, with the light bouncing off his head, and just there's so many memes in this quest line. Like there's a part where there's dialogue going on, and this guy Eleazar just in the back, like putting some lotion on his head. He's just patting his bald head, and then he gets like these nice luscious locks, and it looks like cloud hair. Anyways, fantastic character there. Briardian, I didn't really like him. He struck me as a bit of your like pompous, better than thou kind of inspector. And as a character, he's needed there, but I didn't really enjoy reading his dialogue because I'm like, oh, this guy is like the straight line. He's the bar to like remind everyone that this is what normal people sound like. And, it makes just Hildebrand, allows him to be a little bit more off the wall. And then the best interaction has got to be Gilgamesh, especially when you first meet him. Hildebrand can't even remember what Gilgamesh's name is. Sounds kind of familiar. He's like, I am Gilgamesh. He's like, all right, Gilga, whatever. I forget what he calls him the first time. And then he's like, oh, if it's so hard to remember my name, you can just call me Gil. And he's like, okay, sounds good, Greg. And I'm like, just that kind of dialogue catches me off guard so much. It's so well written. There's so many times I'm just laughing because I just can't believe that some of the things were written the way they were. And then there's like this comedic aspect of just how they set up the animations. Like it gets worse as you progress. The facial animations, like just the faces stretching, the eyes twitching, the dynamic where someone's talking to you through the camera and there's just a random like tentacle monster riding a chicken in the background. Like just that kind of goofiness is peak comedy for me, and I was just enjoying the ride the whole time. Which reminds me, Gilgamesh also has a green chicken that he carries around with him because his buddy, I don't know, he lost his buddy or something, or I think the buddy died. He's like, I'm so lonely, so I found a chicken and painted him green and called him Enkidu, and that's his buddy now. I learned later on that it's like a primal. Yeah, I think that's what they're calling this game. So the primal Enkidu is his buddy, but he lost him, so he just carries a chicken around. And then there was the stereotypical character, the Hildebrand's father, Godbert, which is a whole other character in and of himself that I feel I've seen through my community before. So ever since I started Monster Hunter World, there was a character, actually the guy editing these videos, who pretty much dresses as this guy. I don't know if he based his whole personality around Godbert or if it's just a coincidence, but I remember like my first introduction to this kind of character was in Monster Hunter World, where my community members look like this, and now I'm like, oh, is this what it was referenced on? Just a crazy naked buff dad who can really kick your ass anywhere. Love that stereotype as well. Love the fact that there was a lot of nods to kind of classic Final Fantasy, especially with Gilgamesh. When you're actually fighting it, they brought back the classic song from, I don't remember which one it is that he I think he might be in like most Final Fantasies outside of the first three. But anyways, classic Final Fantasy music, did recognize it there. Later on, another classic villain shows up, which is Ultros. I don't know if that's what he's called in FF4, which is where FF4 or FF6, I forget which one he debuts in. But the purple octopus, and of course we get a fight with him. So all of these iconic characters, and also Ultros, and I'm jumping all over the place here because I'm just going where like my heart is taking me. I love the personality that they gave him. He's almost like a bit of a, I don't know, like a pervy uncle, if I had to give a stereotype to Ultros, just because he calls everybody kids. He breaks the fourth wall a few times, and I also enjoyed voicing him. I don't know why, but I came out with this voice of like almost sounding like a gargled like underwater voice, which sometimes sounds like Adam Sandler, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. The marriage arc, I don't have too much to say there outside of just the whole wedding ceremony and seeing Hildy in a freaking dress and all of the antics that ensued. Specifically, there's a part where he like falls over, looks up, and there's all like the veggie kids who are, I think, about to assault him, and then he's all like, oh, you came for me, and then he's all making like kissy faces to the camera, and it cuts to the veggies just like being all like screeching face, screaming, and then just like runs away in fear and disgust of this Hildy in a dress. Fantastic. I got access to some mini games, I think, after that chapter, which I wasn't, at least I don't remember there being mini games like this in FF14. So I played the Egg Hunter Rissy game, which terrible controls, did not enjoy, but I played the first level anyways. And then I actually committed more than I thought I would to the minigame of Parlay, which is a Hildebrand minigame, which I think had more impact in 1.0 before Realm Reborn. I tried to figure it out on my own. So I'm like picking these tiles. I'm like, I don't understand how to win. I'm always losing. So I tried to Google search how to do this. Surprisingly, there aren't that many good guides that explain it. I had to click like 5-6 links before I finally found an explanation of how to play this. Played it, figured it out, only to realize 30 minutes later, there is zero point to learning how to play this game. It's just pretty much a time waster. There are no rewards. There's no PvP. There's no PvE. There's absolutely no reason to play this outside of just being like, I know how to play this. So I can say, I know how to play this now. The other thing I want to talk about is also meeting his mother, Julian, who for some reason I suspect is written like an Irish person. As I was reading her text out loud, I'm like, I was sounding very Irish, or naturally associating an Irish accent to just the way that she was pronouncing the words, or that the words were written. Also over the top character. The whole Manderville family is just over the top crazy. I love a bunch of the emotes and cosmetics I picked up through doing this quest line. Everything from the freaking like the Hildebrand pose to the Manderville dance. These two I've also seen my community use it a lot when I was doing my FF14 run before. So I'm like, oh, this is where it's from. I love always understanding the references. And then I've got my whole suit. So I got my Manderville suit, which you'll also see me wear in probably a different body. So through my Manderville questline, or Hildebrand questline, something happened. So at the end, as you can see, that we discovered this unmasking powder, which is how we were able to track down the Phantom Thief amongst our ranks and be able to reveal people's identity. Well, while messing with this unmasking powder, we uncovered accidentally that my J.O.Hei was not in fact a male hero, but was actually a female Mikote. Whoa, surprise. And so now my main character has changed gender and race. So from now on, at least through Stormblood, I will be playing as this female Mikote. I look forward to learning or finding great drip and having the most badass samurai looking Mikote I can on this server. Another thing is I was really uncomfortable and unfamiliar with how to manage drip in this game. I tried to learn early in my FF14 days, but I was so freaking overwhelmed with the menus and everything. I get overwhelmed easily, okay? That I finally asked him, okay, we're going to sit down. We're going to figure out how do we do this? And we got Takashi, member of the community, to come in on voice chat and just explain it to me again slowly. And so I learned that I put everything I want in the dresser, I think. And then everything I want to... Wait, what's the difference between the dresser and the what is it even called? I don't remember exactly. I think one thing, you just want to dump a bunch of things in the dresser, I remember. And then you want to move it over to the glamour desk if you want to make a glamour plate. And making a glamour plate, there's 20. And now I feel very comfortable making one, saving it, adjusting it, and applying it even as I get new gear. So gear management is starting to feel a little bit more natural for me. I've also realized I just don't have a lot of good gear. So this is something I'm going to spend some time offline just experimenting with and doing some research online of what is the different kind of drip out there? And what do I want my character to look like? And actually probably finding that drip and actually wearing it. Another thing that happened during my Hildebrand questline, which is very weird, is every time, and I've done this over 4 streams, 4 different days, it was always freaking raining wherever I would go, and people started noticing, why is it always raining where you are? I'm like, I don't know, it's just never sunny here. And so thank you to, I believe it was Menwaka from the community who gave me an umbrella, so I finally have now an umbrella to hide myself from the rain. But ever since I got the umbrella, it's stopped raining, so I've never had a good excuse to pull out the umbrella, so I'm a little sad about that. Going over to the main story quest, though, last time, so I had just wrapped up Heaven's Ward, all that, so now we're in proper Stormblood territory. I've gotten Lise's, it's one syllable, Lise's new drip, which I have mixed feeling on. I love her look and her drip in the cinematic trailer. And when they gave her a new outfit, I'm like, yes, because honestly, out of all the Scions, she probably had the worst drip. Whatever she was wearing, the whole face mask, a white top, and then these really big, heavy greaves just does not work. It's such a clash. She has this light white top, and then she has got these really bright red, heavy metal legs protectors. It just clashes. So I'm glad at least now her top matches her bottom, which is all red, but her top again is still very light and flowing, and the bottom is heavy and clunky. And so I really hope that we get rid of those stupid, massive metal legs. It is the worst accessory, and I don't know why they gave that to her. But at least now she's all like unified in a proper balance of red and white. So I like that. I like her drip. We made it to a new town. I don't think it's a new main hub. I forget the name, so it's not that important. But it's basically where we're getting ready to journey off to the east side of the map. And this is where there was the first parkour element, which I understand is a mechanic that was added in Stormblood going forward. My community is like, oh, you gotta do the parkour. This is the easy one. Like, holy heck, I spent 30 minutes trying to jump back and forth on these bricks just to get to the top of the bridge so I could like flex and take pictures up there. I, take decent pride in my platforming abilities, but man, this was so hard. And I was on controller and I was trying and I just couldn't do it. And then finally someone said, you should probably try keyboard. And on keyboard, I was actually able to get the timing more consistent. So I could go like, boop, 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 boop. And I made the jump. But 30 minutes jumping on those damn bricks. But at least I made it. So, there's a lesson. Never give up on whatever you're trying. Other stuff, I progressed my samurai quest lines. So last time, my master, I had to fight him because I killed him. We had wrapped up the samurai quest line pretty good there. And now there's a traveler from that land who has come to my land called Makoto. And she's pretty much just there readying me for that journey. So the samurai quest is now asking me to go to the other side of the world somewhere that I don't even know the name. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I don't think I can even get there until I move the main story quest to that point. So we're going to focus on the main story quest of Stormblood. And then again, the only other kind of main story beat that happened is I made it to the first, I think it's called the duty, which is when you have to ambush an Imperial Magitech convoy or something like that. And I went into this completely unprepared. And I did not remember most of my combos. I remember the basic, like the single slash combos to get the 3 stickers on the samurai and then unleash the super. So I was doing that. And I was getting swarmed. I'm like, wait, something doesn't feel right. I'm really like feeling like I'm going to die and everyone's going to die. And people are like, why aren't you using your AoEs? I was like, do samurais even have AoEs? And people are like, oh my God, this kid. And so, yes, I forgot about all these buttons I put on the left side of my hotbars. And those were all my AoE attacks. So I started using those, remembering that, oh yeah, there's this combo, that combo with AoEs. And now I was actually cleaning out all these mobs. And I'm just like, oh, geez, so much rust. But luckily, I made it by barely a hair. Alice, if you look at her health, she was just about to die when I figured everything out. But we turned the tides, and we won the fight. It was not easily won. And now I'm ready to journey to the east, wherever we are. We're in desert. There's more desert. I look forward to eventually making it to non-desert lands and going to a samurai world, wherever that may be. So that's where I am. It's good to be back. I'm enjoying being back in FF14. I have no pledge this time, and so I'm not rushing with like, oh, I got to get through all this story by a certain date, which in hindsight was probably not the best way to experience Final Fantasy. Now I just log in. I just have fun. I'm like, today I want to do this. Today I'm going to do this. And it's really, I think, allowing me to enjoy the game more for what it is, which is, it is whatever it wants to be on the day that you choose to play it. Like on one day it could be a drip fest, on another day it could be just finding quests. One day I didn't even go online. I just went in and I was mining rocks because like I had a really stressful day and I didn't want to really read. I didn't want to do anything. I'm like, I just want to smash some rocks, and I'm just like bunk, 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 and I leveled up my miner skill by 10 levels. Like that was the experience, and that's what I needed that night, and it was fantastic. So I look forward to continuing to share my journey of Final Fantasy XIV with all of you. I definitely want to get through Stormblood in a reasonable amount of time, which before I switch over to another game. So expect more Stormblood journals here on Hey Jay, as I have now returned to content. I will see you on the next one, and until next time, keep it classy.